Welcome to the wilds of Borneo, more specifically the province of Sabah, and more accurately than that, the town of Kota Kinabalu. I love saying that, Kota Kinabalu. Now, this is maybe not as well known as most of the other Southeast Asian destinations for tourists, such as Thailand or Vietnam or even Cambodia, but maybe it should be. On one side, we've got a beautiful harbor over there, and beyond the islands that you might be able to see, there's even more beautiful islands for diving and snorkeling. And on the other side of the town are jungles and hills, which are available for trekking and that kind of activity.
Also called KK, the town has a definite provincial feel and isn't much of an attraction in itself. It's faded and underwhelming in some places, but very pleasant in others, especially its harbor. You'll find just about everything you need here at reasonable prices, and the people couldn't be friendlier. The biggest attraction is offshore. A scattering of small islands features beaches and forests. To get there, most tourists leave from the main jetty in town and jump on a boat that takes from 15 to 30 minutes. The beaches are small, so the crowds can be large. Many, if not most, of the visitors are mainland Chinese who arrive here in droves.
Well, we've arrived on the island of Mamutik. It took about 30 hours journey from the mainland on one of those boats that you might be able to see off in the background. This is the smallest island in the group, only about 300 meters from one end to the other. And like the other islands in this chain, the beach areas are actually pretty small, as you can probably see. And you'll probably also notice that the numbers of tourists are quite sizable. So if you're actually looking for a quiet, idyllic, lonely retreat, this is actually not the place to go. Well, just came back from snorkeling, and I must say it was fantastic. When we first got here, sort of late in the morning, the visibility was not good. It was quite cloudy, so I was quite disappointed. But we had lunch, and then just after lunchtime, the visibility cleared right up. And there are amazing coral beds out there. And so that's where I went out, and it was some of the best underwater scenery that I've seen in quite a few years, especially in these years since the bleaching of the corals and that kind of thing. So Mamutik, and from what I've heard from the local people, this is the best place to snorkel. However, the conditions here do change. All of these beaches have these sort of rustic little buffet type eateries, and this place is no exception. Here's what I have. I've got sweet and sour chicken, or fish, I think, some noodles, barbecue chicken, and some satay. And Hank, I think you've got some crab there as well. 45 ringgit, which is, how much is that? Is that about maybe close to between $10 and $15? A zip line spans 2 of the islands. Like many of the tourists, we based ourselves in town and day tripped to the islands, a different one each day. A small number of resorts dot the islands, but you'll pay a lot more to stay there than in town. Our hotel was big and comfy, and great value at around $100 a night. We were in the center of town, able to walk nearly anywhere we wanted. That included the Imajo Shopping Center. Not to mention some amazing restaurants. Well, one of the least fanciest seafood restaurants I've ever been to in my life happens to be one of the best seafoods I've ever been to in my life. We have king prawn in pepper sauce and grouper, steamed grouper. When all of the customers at a Chinese restaurant are Chinese and you're not in China,
you know it's a good Chinese restaurant. This isn't the prettiest town in the world, but it does grow on you. Once you actually stick around for a couple of days, you really start to get into the place and discover just the wonderful nature of the local people, who are very warm and friendly and hospitable, and actually seem to enjoy having the huge number of tourists that are actually here. They're not jaded in any way, it seems. So if you've got some time, if you want to get off the normal, well-trodden tourist trail of Southeast Asia and try something a bit different, like the island of Borneo, give this place a whirl. Thanks for watching.